Hi everybody, this is John Bender. I'm going to be here with you the next few minutes talking about how to build a successful and profitable business working from home. Just to introduce myself again, my name is John Bender. I've been involved as a leader in the company for many years. I have been in the home-based business industry for now over 15 years, actually going more on 18 years, and have been very blessed to make millions of dollars in business. Not saying that to try to impress you, but impress upon you to kind of help you understand that I'm kind of like you in many ways, just an ordinary person who's had extraordinary results. Also, a little bit more about myself. I've written a book, and it's kind of crazy, but it's a little book on how to become successful in a way that is with integrity and value-based systems, and it's called In God We Trust, A Legacy for Creating Wealth and Abundance, and it's sold in places like Walmart, Barnes & Noble, and Amazon. We're actually going to give you a copy of that a little bit later on. Also, my partner Greg Montoya and I have been involved with developing one of the most successful home business marketing programs in the nation today. I also like to do extracurricular activities in the area of martial arts, and most proudly I'm the father of 3 beautiful children, my wife of 15 years, Sherry, and we've just been very fortunate. We live in the state of North Carolina. So thanks again for letting me spend a few minutes with you. Let's get started, because I know we want to talk about you and what this business can do for you. Specifically, what I'm going to focus on here today is really how to design a life that allows you to achieve the goals that you're setting forth in your life. Also, how to learn to free up more time and to be able to spend time with the people that you love the most so you can enjoy whatever you shoot for. To be able to have enough abundance that it's not just all about you, but to be able to give generously to other people and worthwhile causes. We're going to talk about how to take fun vacations and be able to do things with your life that many times you've dreamt about doing as an interest, and hobbies that you might have dreamt about having. And we're also going to talk about really how to build your own business, but to have it supported with a team, so even while you're away or you're gone, you have the opportunity to continue to make money. Now, it's important to understand in our business we get paid in 2 different ways. We get paid from work that you do as well as teamwork. And this is when you take time to help someone else learn how to do what we do, plug them into the training, you have an opportunity to get paid by the manufacturer as well. Breaking down to these 2 areas, let's take a look at your work. This is retail sharing of our technology, where we actually share our technology, and then also fast start bonuses anytime you want to help somebody else learn how to get started with their own business. Then on an ongoing basis, and more of a residual or long-term basis, as your team or as a distribution channel begins to grow, the manufacturer pays you percentages of what that distribution channel does. And then as you move on up in rank, you have executive bonuses that kick in. We'll talk about those now. Okay, now the first thing to understand in our business, we don't look for salespeople. If you are a salesperson, fine, but our preference is to find people who've never sold anything before, because our philosophy is that we don't sell, we share. And when you learn how to share the technology or share what we do, just like you'd share a good book, restaurant, recipe, what have you, it's easy to be successful. In fact, when you sell, it's actually a lot harder. Now, because we share and we don't sell, we're able to allow people to experience the technology. And one of the kind of key ideas of our overall philosophy is the product has to be so good that when people use it or experience it, they want to keep it or own it. Notice I didn't say buy, we said keep or own. And fortunately for us, we have incredible conversion ratios, up to 50% conversion ratios, which are phenomenal. What does that mean for you? It means that regardless of which product you're sharing with us, the Laundry Pure, Fresh Air, Living Water, that there's incredible profits. The Laundry Pure profits $300, Fresh Air $400, Living Water is $700. That's phenomenal when you begin to think about that type of profit. If you think about just moving a product every now and again that you didn't sell but you allowed someone to experience, it's phenomenal the results that can be achieved just in the retail profits alone. This is something that separates us as a competitive advantage from other companies out there that are dealing in low ticket items. The other thing is that anytime you help somebody learn about business, learn about a way to make additional income, the manufacturer, not you, but the manufacturer is going to pay you between 5 to 55% of whatever they decide to get started with. So for example, you might recall over here you saw something that says PV. What is that? We think about it as point value. Sometimes people call it commissionable volume. Essentially, what it is what you get paid on. So, for example, if somebody here decided, Sue, she decided to get started into business with her Laundry Pure technology, and you helped her, the company would give you a thank you bonus of somewhere between 5 to 55%. If we just kind of are conservative and keep it on the low end, just say 15%, that would be $60 you would get as a bonus, just as a thank you bonus for helping her get started. Also, Bill, let's say Bill came in again with a fresh year here. 15% of that would be $33.75. And again, Living Water, which is our alkaline water system used by Major League Baseball players. Again, John, let's say it was 1,000 here. 15% of 1,000 is 150. Okay, now that's great, the thank you bonus for helping them get started and plugging them into the training. But what about ongoing? Well, we'll talk about that here in a moment. I want you to understand it's not just a one-time deal, but as that man or woman begins to succeed in their business, predicated on by performance, you get the opportunity to make ongoing money. Okay, now the key here is you, all right? And one of the most important things is in any business, you want a new person to have, they have faith that it's going to work, and that's great, but we want that faith to be replaced by proof. And in business, proof comes in the form of making money. So one of the significant goals that we have is to be able to help you have $1,650 profit in your first 30 days. And yes, again, that's not going to make you rich by any means, but that's going to put an exclamation point on your decision to get started. And I think when you think about being in business for 30 days and the ability to turn a profit, that means above and beyond money that you put in your bank account. That's above and beyond anything that you've invested or expended. What happens is that starts to say, gosh, there's got to be something real here. And we've got this really unique program called a GTO. We'll be talking about it a little bit later on to help you do that. And it doesn't matter what type of background or experience that you have. If you can read 3 sheets of paper and push a couple buttons, you can make money in our business. Okay, so let's take a look at how our system can help you get bigger paydays in your first full calendar. One of the important ideas of our business is we have an A plus B equals C strategy. The A is really simple. It's you getting started in a certain way with some optional units to go to work with, and then helping have 3 other people that you identify. Either it could be people you know, but more often it's people that respond to some form of advertising. We've got all this different forms of proven advertising, whether it be on the internet, whether it be direct mail, whether it be classifieds, other things that we use that are already time tested and proven to help introduce you to people who are actually looking to own their own business too. And what happens is when you get started and you help 3 other people get started, it equals C. And C is a rank of quick start. Now the rank of quick start, you might say, well, what is it and why is it so significant? Well, it allows you to have a 500% increase of your pay grade. Any of you guys who've ever come out of the military, you understand about pay grades. And when you start in our business, you start at level 1. Well, here you move all the way to level 5, which is a 500%, where you go from 5%. Remember how I said the manufacturer pays you a percentage of what goes on in your business, up to 25% at this level 5 pay grade. So you go from 5 to 25. Very significant. And it ends up generating an extra $1,350 in bonus income. Okay, so when you take that and you begin to add that to the $1,650 that I just mentioned with this GTO process, $1,650 plus $1,350, well, you guessed it, that's $3,000. So what we want to do is not just the $1,650 from this really neat GTO process, again, reading 3 sheets of paper, pushing a couple buttons, but we also want you to get proof that you can work smarter instead of harder. You don't have to do all the work yourself by simply helping 3 other people learn how to do the same thing. And think about it. If you're making $1,650, who do you know who could use an extra $1,650? And even if you don't know anybody, which we have a lot of people in that situation, think about this. Who out there in the real world do you think is looking for a way to secure their family right now, to get the heck out of debt, maybe be their own boss? everybody is. So it becomes a very easy thing to help find 3 people when we show them exactly what we're doing and how it works. So the goal is, again, in your first full calendar month to put up to $3,000 in your pocket, in your bank account, because we want that faith again to be replaced by proof in the form of cash flow. One of the important ideas is time, though. We don't want it to take forever. But if we can do it in your first full calendar month, that will really make a statement psychologically to you. So not only do you intellectually know that this thing works, but you see it emotionally work as well. Okay, one of the important ideas is beyond that, because that's great, but if you are looking for something that can, again, eventually secure your family for good, get you out of a job for good, and let you be your own boss, and keep you out of debt for good, allow you to move from a person who borrows to a person who loans, which is obviously a wise place to be. What happens beyond this? Well, we've got a game plan that really help you understand something that is phenomenal. Now, we talked about level 5 already. It's critical we get you there, and we can do that very, very quickly, very readily. But what about in past level 5? Well, we got a game plan that's starting in about 4 to 6 months, and we'll just say 6 months to be conservative. It's designed to build a $7,000 a month. That's $84,000 a year. Okay, $7,000 a month, which is really, really pretty good. Now, this is a 4 to 6 month plan, and you got to be realistic, because you don't create a fortune overnight. Any of that kind of stuff that you hear somebody tell you that, it's either they're doing something wrong, or it's not going to be sustained, or they're just flat out misrepresenting to you. Okay, the next thing is within 12 to 24 months, we have the ability to build up to a $15,000 a month program, which is very, very powerful. And this allows you to start now having what we consider an income that can be something that you can sustain on, and hopefully most of you can live on that more on a full-time basis. And then as you move on up and beyond into level 14 and higher ranks, you can go much, much more income there. But remember, financial freedom starts on that A plus B equals C, or that level 5 of taking you from 5% when you get started all the way up to 25, which is a 500% pay increase. So that's why we go back to that level 5, A plus B equals C. Okay, now we also mentioned executive bonuses. As you get to level 5, and you're at level 5 for 3 months in a row, you get promoted to level 6. Level 6 is our executive ranks, and it just keeps on going up from there. But significantly, remember how I said the fast start bonus is, a thank you bonus from the manufacturer up to 55%. Well, on an ongoing basis, from that point forever thereafter, anything that we call a lot of times a virtual franchise, that the man or woman you help get started, the manufacturer, not them, but the manufacturer pays you between 35 up to 35% of their commissionable volume, which could be very, very significant. Plus, anytime you have somebody that you help get started and they get a promotion to level 5, you get a $500 promotion bonus. Plus, the executive pays a lower price point than levels 1 through 4. And so any of the differential in the price point rolls right on up to you. One of the other really cool things a lot of people like is the fact that you get $600 a month for a company car, and you don't have to requalify for it. Once you qualify for it, you're done. $600 every time you just hit your criteria there. And what's nice is $600, guys, buys you an awful nice car here in today's world. And last but not least, you get this $1,000 monthly performance bonus in the form of cash from just basically doing what you're supposed to do anyways. And again, this can very quickly add up to a great $7,000 to $15,000 a month income. And then something that's not actually a dollar value or something you get paid on your check, but it's the opportunity to earn trips. Whether we go to Mexico, whether we go to Aruba, whether we go to Hawaii, whether we go on a cruise. This is a trip that you and a significant other get to take a couple of times a year. Of course, if you want to bring your children, no problem. Just add them on. It might cost a little bit more, but hey, you've got the money to cover it. So just think about every couple of quarters, about every 3 to 6 months, there's another trip that's planned that you can choose to go on using the company's money. So it's a company-paid vacation for you. Guys, when you think about it, it's time for you to get your life back. ask yourself what it would be like if you could own your own life. What would it be like if you could determine when and how you wanted to work, where you wanted to live, what you wanted to drive, how you wanted to spend your time, how much time you wanted to spend with your family, how much money you wanted to start loaning or giving. I mean, and that's hard to think about when you're so far in debt. So imagine what that could be like. What would it be like to own your own life? Well, folks, you can do it, but you've got to take the very first step in getting started. Again, this is John Bender. I wish you the very best. Blessings on you, and I hope that this can be something that can fulfill your wishes and your desires, much as it has my family for the last 18 years. God bless you all.